Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about the updates I've made to my tower defense game that is based on your guys' comments. People have commented for me to make a Railgun tower and a Bazinga tower. Now I wasn't exactly sure what a Bazinga tower was, so I searched it up and it was kind of like a Sheldon reference, but I turned it into like a different thing, so I hope it's okay with you guys. But anyways, let's get on with this. I'll be explaining how I made the towers and what they do. So first I'll go into some gameplay after I change the enemy's health to a lot, because the Railgun tower is a relatively slow shooting, large damage dealing tower, so it'll kill the enemy pretty fast. And the Bazinga tower is a long-ranged, fast-shooting tower that does little damage. The Railgun has 3 upgrades. One of them just makes it do a little bit more damage. One of them makes it do even more damage and the first one increases damage and range. The second one increases damage, range, and adds an explosion. And the third one increases damage, range, and explosion size. And the Bazinga tower doesn't have any upgrades currently because there wasn't a comment that said to do so. And so now into the big part of the video where I explain everything in detail. So the tower, let me go to the actual script real quick. There are a couple of variables up here that I've created. There's the game manager variable, which isn't one that I created. It's actually this script, so that it can get variables from this script over to the tower script. And then there's the game object array upgrade variables, which means there can be multiple things in here. And that upgrade array is this one, which has all 3 of these. And I'm sorry for the poor naming and stuff and my code not being neat. I don't really do the best at that. And then there's the game object applied upgrades, which is the applied upgrades is the one of the upgrades. So it'll be set to whatever this button, one of these buttons does. So if you press the Railgun button, or actually it's the power up button for the upgrades, but if you press the power up button, then it'll set it to 0, which means it'll instantiate this one from here when it's clicked. But anyways, it aims at its target by having another variable, target, and what is enemy layer, and the enemy game tag. So the target is a transform, which means it's a position, and the target is equal to any game object with the tag enemy. Once it finds this, it transforms its rotation to aim towards the target. And I also have this right here that is a Boolean, which means it can be true or false, and it checks if there's a object with enemy layer mask. And a layer mask is kind of just a way to identify objects. So the enemy, you can see, has an enemy layer mask up here. And then after it finds if in range is equal to true, which means there's an enemy inside that circle, then it also checks to see if the next shot time is less than the time.time, and the time.time is just the time elapsed total. So I did next shot time is less than time.time because you can add the time between shots, which is your reload speed, to time.time every time you shoot, so that the next shot time is actually like accurate and makes it. This is like a basic timer system, and it also instantiate, which you'll see a lot. The instantiate function makes something and puts it in. It'll instantiate the bullet at its position and rotation, and each tower has its own bullet. So there's a bullet slot in each one of the towers. And if there's an upgrade, it'll destroy itself and instantiate the upgrade. So for the actual like upgrade parts, it's mostly the same. Actually, it's pretty much the exact same. And then they just have different bullets. So they also have like different values in these variables. But the bullet for these, like this is the basic bullet. It doesn't really have anything, and you can see that is explosive is off, which I'll explain now. So the bullet has the speed variable, the is explosive bull, the explosion and explosion area. So the speed is how fast the bullet moves. The is explosive means like if I turn it on, or like if it can explode. And then the explosion is the type of explosion it has, and the explosion area is where it should explode at. So this just makes it this makes it move, and this checks that if the other tag is enemy, it'll destroy itself, and if explosive is true, then it'll spawn the explosion that it's assigned to. So we can see that with this one. It is explosive, and it has this explosion attached to it. And the explosive area is also attached here. So that's how that works. And the Bazinga tower, since it would look weird if it rotated, I added another transform so that the Bazinga tower doesn't rotate, but that transform rotates, so it shoots the same way. But instead of it having like the Bazinga tower rotate itself, it'll have that rotate. And the way it deals damage is I've made this coat so there's a bunch of public floats that are like the damage and the health and the damage taken from each tower. And in here it'll check what the tag is, and then it'll subtract what the damage from that bullet should be from its health. And then also, if the health is less than or equal to 0, then it'll destroy the game object, which means it'll just disappear. So thank you for watching, and comment down your ideas below for the game, and comment down how I can make these videos better and more enjoyable. Thanks.